Yeah, 5G is a weapon, man. Welcome to the future, man.
First there was the collapse of civilization.
It's really just the 80s,
Anarchy, genocide, starvation. Then when it seemed things couldn't get any worse, we got the plague. The living death, quickly closing its fist over the entire planet. And then we heard the rumors that the last scientists were working on a cure that would end the plague and restore the world.
Amen.
Restore it? Why? I like the death. I like the misery. I like this world!
The scripture said, you'll praise God in your misery and your good times. Welcome to war, man. Welcome to the second half of the tribulation. Welcome to the great, and horrible, and terrifying day of the Lord. Welcome to judgment. Welcome to the violence. Based on how long the first half took, and you know how long it took me to overcome the locust of the bottomless pit, that was just death. That was just boost and consolation. That was just the beginning. We're in the second half, which represents war. It's really the end. There's always those two, the beginning and the end, and then the in between. It's like when God makes a command and then he has to observe to see if it's good, you know, because it's just going to play out. He's got to make sure it's good. Did that every day. It's interesting with this character right here in the comment is like this is actually from the 80s when I was born. Because he looks just like gas. He looks just like fucking gas, bro. You know the thing that works good against 5G? And the virus that it creates called COVID? It's actually alcohol. I haven't talked to y'all about this, but it's actually alcohol. I don't know, maybe that's why Jesus had blood that was made out of wine. You're not supposed to drink it though. I mean, wine, you can drink that, but like, I'm talking about the stuff they've been disinfecting everything with. I'll tell you, it looks just like gas, bro. And I was telling you, gas is basically a light-skinned brother, man. They even putting this dude on the cross like, you know why they're doing that? Because just like with the Golden Child, with the movie called The Golden Child, they knew the Messiah was going to be born in or around when Haley's Comet came. That's the only comet that came when Jesus was here. They knew what they were doing. And that's why they say the Golden Child, you know, he was destined to save all mankind in the future. The horrible future they had in store for them. And you know, I stopped the chemtrailing for the most part, but the problem is now we have to deal with this ground-based weaponry that I saw a lot in wars with. I saw it also when Jeff was walking the fallen earth, because the stories overlap. And you know, the people are turning into zombies, you know, that's why Jesus is like, when the Son of Man comes, will we find any faith? You know, I found very little faith. No matter what I do, it seems like only a very small amount of people seem to get it or care. You know, And since I overcame the enemy, the primary enemy I had, which is the locust of the bottomless pit, I've been laying low, bro. I've been just chilling. I've been having fun. That's why you saw me playing, not really laying low, but just doing my thing. Because I usually only step things up if I have to or something like that, Like it says about Archangel Michael, he stands up in times of trouble. Michael is like related to like, seriousness. Like God being actually trying. Oh, I remember now. It's 2 songs, but for some reason they disappeared this song. And watch, I'm gonna still be in a playlist. There's gonna be this whole nother song. I forgot they disappeared it off the playlist for whatever. But yeah, 5G is definitely a weapon, bro. Like it you see all these songs and stuff are from when I was born, like the 80s and stuff, but like I was just listening to them because I like that kind of music. I didn't really think that it would be related, like how that song had those visuals and stuff relating to how I've been telling you about Gas, like how he Goku and them all that related to what I've been doing, and like Gas is like a shadow. It's just like Garo is One Punch Man shadow, just like King One Punch Man is King's shadow. Like it's like a trinity kind of like with those three at this point. And I called it a long time ago. They rewrote the whole fucking story. Like they had it wrote one way in the original manga, and they rewrote it just because of what's going on with me. Because I don't know what the fuck going on. Like it seems like they followed my story or something. Like they were doing that a lot with Dragon Ball Z, with Goku Black, and all that kind of stuff too. Like that's why he has a sharp sickle. That's my beginning. Like my old page, new pages, maybe related to war or whatever, but like I guess it is because it's the only one I'm getting any reaching out and meeting people, but it's kind of an overlap between the two because I hadn't defeated the locust of the bottomless pit at that point, and technically they're still not beat visibly. Like they're critically beat in the long run. Like in the long run, they're already set up to be beat. I don't have to worry about them anymore. The main problem I have now is just this residual shit they got on the earth. But also other type of demonic forces like that are on the earth. And also in the heavens, because not everything is out of the heavens just yet, because it's going to take time. And it seems like I'm doing this like kind of like from this side of things and from that side of things at the same time. It's kind of complicated, but basically I got a 5G phone. Like everybody's been like hogging and talking lately. Not everybody, but people that I don't normally hear that's doing that. And at the same time, they came up with the monkeypox thing, like the vaccine for that. Like right when they came out, but it was more so right when I got my phone. I think they're trying to cover story, you know what I mean? Like they closed down the last Sprint tower, and my dad's kind of slow to adapt to things, so he didn't want to change anything. And I'm happy he didn't, because it would have been harder to deal with it earlier, because I wasn't already done with the locust and all that. So when it hit me, I didn't even realize it because how strong I had become. Like I just noticed that when I got the phone, because they sent us the phone, and my dad when he got it, like it made me start smelling funny. Like, and that was because it was fucking with my gut biome. And that's what that was. It was fucking with that, and then after about a week of that going on, I didn't think anything was going on because I didn't feel sick. It finally made me sick. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? It was just whittling me down. That thing is really weaponized. The way we beat it is, it's easy to fucking block. All you have to do, it's actually really deadly if you don't, but it's because all the frequencies that 5G is on are dangerous to human life, and it literally absorbs the oxygen out of the air. Like, it almost killed me the first time by absorbing all the oxygen out of there. Even though I had, I put it in a fucking Faraday cage. And I think what was going on, even though I couldn't get a signal, it was still, like the towers were sending so much power at it. what you have to do is you have to take the SIM card out. Without the SIM card, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if they update their tactics, and then I'm gonna do what I can, and then if they update it, I'll try and find a way past it. I'm not gonna be a coward. I'm not gonna leave you guys defenseless. I'm telling you the absolute truth how to beat 5G. Because I've beaten it, had me real sick. I'm still getting over it to a degree, but it's like nothing compared to what I was dealing with before. Like, I'll put it like this other time it basically killed me again after I exercised. Killed me twice basically. The first time it didn't fully kill me, I got out of the way before it could. Like, I basically had no air. It was just sucking all the air, but inside of my tent, like, I had all this stuff shed that I told you that was cleaning the sky. And that was the only reason I was able to breathe in there. Like, so I went back in there and I was able to breathe. But outside there, it just felt like a vortex sucking up the air. Like, I could feel this vortex sucking the air too. I could feel it. And the same thing happened basically on the other one. Like, it's the same one, I'm not gonna lie. I forget how the first time it almost got me. Like, it was different. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much because, like, there were really some bad situations that, like, as far as, like, what I went through. Like, bodily reactions, if you know what I mean, like, that I had to do simply to survive. Because that's how bad it was. Like, and it's very embarrassing because it's things that I could have held back, but I would have died. So I had to do it, and the devil knew I had to do it. Because the only reason I couldn't get away, I remember now, is because I was paralyzed. I wasn't paralyzed, but my body felt like I was getting stabbed. Like, it was really just like the demons that I hadn't fully gotten rid of that were inside of me. And they were like, you know how I told you about stomach demons? I had a little bit of parasites in me. And they was trying to make my body rip me apart because I had just worked out. Even though I was sick, I went and worked out by myself somewhere. And then when it wanted me to lose because I had been training, you know, like, it's symbolic of war, you know, because I forgot to tell y'all, over the past 2 months, why I haven't been putting no videos up is because I'm not making any changes. It was so perfect on that eclipse, and I got so much stuff to share about the eclipse, that it basically made me the power perfect. It's perfect, bro. Like, all I have to do is sit there and just let it do its thing now. Like, it's literally like being on the throne, just resting and letting it do its thing. Oh, I see. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing it. I didn't have it all the way at the top. It's actually supposed to be all the way at the top. Oh well. And then it's interesting how they got this Terminator thing in here too. See, like, oh, it is what it is. Like, what did I say? Oh yeah, the past 2 months, like, that's what I've been doing. It's been snowballing. It actually works better that way. Like, because that's the way I intended it. So I love it because, you know why? Because unlike when I was like in my prior phase, now, like, I don't have limiting energy problems. Like, when Goku was using, for example, Ultra Instinct, that's going to be his next step up. I know it. Like, he's not going to have energy problems using Ultra Instinct anymore. Like, but to make his own Ultra Instinct, that's the part that's getting exhausting. And that's how it actually works. You can make your own things at this phase, but before it was more so like you have to constantly keep making it to compare. Like, but it was only in my mind, it was only mental, it was only the way I was doing it. So I already know Goku's gonna do something like where just kind of like, just, you know, I already seen that in the newest episode. Like, he's just kind of doing whatever. Like, he used to be like, it's literally just the same thing in the Golden Child. Like, the guy, he had to what? So much shit I want to talk to you about. Got to make it some parts or something. This guy, he basically like, he basically had to like save this golden child who's supposed to be, you know, like, he's basically a monk, the savior of mankind, man child. That's what's symbolic. This came out right when I was born. Pardon me. And this guy's like dealing with this. I gotta clear up as I'm doing this because they're attacking me as I make the video. Like, the attacks literally kicked up right after I made those last videos I made. I was aiming to go into some more stuff, but the very next day the attack started. But anyways, is 1986, blah blah blah, Savior, and then he's actually the chosen one, just like Jesus is, and that's what he represents. He represents Jesus to help me through these phases, but at the same time, it represents me, like because I'm actually a man, just like Eddie's a man, and but I'm just that chosen one, like the elect one, the chosen one, the elect, and he's the man child, like, but at the same time, that's why I'm telling you, it's the two witnesses. Because it came out when I was born. They knew they did it around here because Haley Common was just leaving at that point, so the kid would have had to have been born. And they were jumping the gun a little bit. I was born right in the middle of this passage. I was born in '85. 84 was all about that too, the George Orwell shit. That's when the Terminator and all that shit came out. But anyways, like he basically dealing with this gang, this yellow gang, and then this is demon that was controlling this person. She seeks. It's like kind of I guess I'll just read it. Seeks him out and informs him of the kidnapping of the golden child. He is the chosen one who will save the child. See, the black guy is supposed to be the chosen one. He's the son of man that saves man. That basically, but he's a man child at the same time. It's like they don't tell you that. Shayla does not take that seriously. Even after a bird begins to fall on her, that's symbolic of the dove, like Jesus had the dove following him around and stuff. Follow him around, and then he's seeing an astral projection of the child. Next day, Cheryl Mosley is found dead in her abandoned house, smeared with Tibetan graffiti in a pot. Let me just paraphrase. So basically, they track down this gang. And then the gang has this one person that's like a demon person, and they're being like, it just so happens to be China, because China's got a lot of people that are like the serpent seed and all that, and it's basically they're trying to stop this man child from, it's just like in the Bible where the man child was saved him from the serpent and all this that's got him under slavery and all that, and that's why this whole racism thing goes so far, the supremacist thing goes so far, is because so using all this kind of weaponry and all this kind of stuff is because, it's two different species. It's just that simple. Like they cannot cohabit the people. And maybe some of them that convert over to God or something like that, but they know what it means, and they're just doing everything they can to stop it. So that's basically what's going on here. And then, this is the interesting part to me. Chandler supposedly swindled by this old seller that is revealed to be a high priest of the temple. It's the high priest, forever 4. Now it's at a 4 or 3 really with them, but so it's the high priest. Maybe that's the Jesus symbology in there. So then the temple, that's where they meet him, is the temple of God, and all that, where the dagger is kept hidden. You see, this is how we beat them. This is by the what? The word, the sword of God, and the outpouring of the Spirit, the outpouring of the waters. I've seen those things in so many dreams where I took like a little creek and turned it into a river. Like, man, people, it's like, why don't the holy baptism water so strong? Why don't they just like baptize the oceans? Well, the problem is most people don't have that much energy. I could, and I do. And that's why you get all these effects on the world like that. Because I'm baptizing not just the earth, I'm baptizing all different dimensions of dimensions. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a little deeper than that. Like, my friend, he's real good at that word right there, mentions. Like, it's like people change up those different mentions. Like, he's so deep, man. He's actually a real Morpheus. I'm gonna have to bring him on here one time. Let you guys hear him. I let him talk to some relatives of mine recently, and they just don't understand what he's saying, bro. I already know. They're way too shallow. Like, you guys have been listening to me. That's all I'm gonna say. So I think you guys would actually appreciate listening to the guy that started this off. Anyway, so Chandler, all that. You might be lyric. Like, I met him, and I met an actual guy that looks just like Eddie Murphy. And he was like, he was the only person I ever met. He was more like the monk than me. Like he can move shit around, all kinds of stuff. The government was following him around. I already told you about him, the Hawk, man. The real life Hawk. He's from Colombia. You would think he would be like pale skin, but he's actually really dark. But he looked like Eddie Murphy. It was pretty funny. He told the truth back then. He was like, fear ain't nothing but the devil. That man was something else, bro. Like I remember when I did a certain kind of meditation, I'll put it that way, like I was able to really sense this guy's energy, but normally I couldn't. I had a whole nother energy, but like I was in my own little zone. I had to open myself up to it. But anyway, so like, let me go. Well, let me quickly wrap this up and talk about some cures and stuff. But alcohol is really the cure, though. You breathe that, like it'll cure your fucking lungs, like all that. I don't know if it's like a permanent cure. You don't have to like drink it or anything, like just inhale it. Or like put it at the bottom of your nose. Like my uncle been doing that. He ain't get sick one time. He never took the vaccine. He never got sick one time. Not one time. Like I haven't been doing that every time I go out. I got sick because I didn't have it. Plus his phone and all that shit. I was sleeping on it. That shit works, but also like I said, you have to change your phone from 5G to 4G. That's the only way you're gonna be able to use it. Like, cause they're gonna eventually force us all on it and shit. So you gotta just change it from 5G to 4G. You got the option to do that. It's in your network settings, and it actually works. It does substantially reduce the problem because, you know, contrary to what you believe, they do have some professional standards out there that, you know, like people will catch on to. And that's one of them, I think, right now at least. So that's a solution as well, so you can actually use the phone. And then, like I said, take the SIM card out and put it in a Faraday cage when you're sleeping or something, so you can get real good rest. You won't have to worry about that shit fucking with your rest or anything like that. Let me finish this. So, I guess this, he literally has to deal with the bottomless pit. What? He has to get this dagger, and then in order to attain it, he has to go through this test. He has to keep calm, like the Ultra Instinct, remember? Goku has to. I was back on that stuff. We already listened to that one, so we're gonna do the next one. But you have to basically be able to be calm. And that's how I was doing with it before, a lot of this stuff, you know, self-control and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's meditation, you know, that's how it is. That's the way you have to be in general. That's how. I'm not gonna get away too much. That's related to the power. When I'm creating a new power, like when Goku creates his actual Ultra Instinct, that's how he's gonna do it. He's gonna be calm at that point. It's like, for example, I can already see it in the way what he's doing. Like when he gets hurt real bad and he ends up in Ultra Instinct natural, like that's his Ultra Instinct. That's when he actually fights the best. Like when he just naturally ends up in it. This is not natural for him at all. And I think he's realizing that and being more himself now. And that's what I've been telling you. That's what I do now. I don't put God in a box. And that's why I delete all those damn videos. Like that's why I was talking limited about God. And I was just like, I have to redo a lot of it. Because you can't put limits on God. You can't put him in a box. It's like, it's what do you want? It's like, what do you really want? That's what you focus on. What do you really want? Not what's been imposed on you. What makes sense? That's when you have a real relationship with God. And that's why it was like Goku had to make his own altruism. There's a lot to that, man. Like, a lot of stuff going on in the animes right now. Like, literally, like I told you, Garo absorbed One Punch Man's power. He absorbed his fucking power. And now he's like, now he's fucking like on a really like serious level. Like Blast had to fucking step in, and like it's so much shit going on, bro. Like it's clear that Blast also got his power from God, and that's showing you what my power is, to get powers. And that's what happens. It shares it with the world, but they got me fighting against myself in various different forms and different characters. Even the Flash is just related to the super luminal power. It's just neutrinos. It's faster than light particles. That's what Flash is. And that's where the spirit realm exists. He's just like a representation of that in this divisive, divided situation that compartmentalize every part of your brain and of who you could be. They're trying to limit you. You can be totally unlimited. You can do whatever the hell you want. Like Shaq said, that's the secret. You can be whatever you want to be. And that's why they try to lie to people about who they are and where they come from. So yeah, that thing he got from the tree saves his life later when he deals with the actual devil. He had to overcome that abyss by being calm and all this stuff without spilling the drop, with luck and wits. Remember, what's the king's ultimate power? Luck, supposedly. It's really just plot line. It's like destiny. Like, that's how God works. That's why when he makes a command, he has to observe to see if it's good. Because he has to watch how it manifests as a possibility. Just like when you divide the waters from above, from below, it created what we call electromagnetism and acceleration, which we call gravity. It's just all the same thing. And that's why it's getting this energy, just magnets are literally that energy, that endless magnetism that they have. It's literally just that energy manifesting into reality, just like the sun is. There's just so much stuff I could tell you. But anyway, so to bed, the glass of water without spilling the drop. That's the outpouring of spirit. It's kind of like when you're creating this thing, you can't fuck up one time, bro. You're in that abyss, bro. Abyss is like all around you and every little fuck that you make. Like, and so it's like, that's why I'm so fucking like knowledgeable. Like I've been dealing with it. I've seen it so intricately scary as fuck, man. Like, because it's my shadow. Like, literally my shadow. It's like the opposite of me. But it's nowhere comparable to me. But it's still like, it's basically like, it can be very ugly. You know what I mean? Like, and it be so absolutely ugly and scary. Because it's like everything that's not orderly. Because everything that I made a power out of, I made sure it was perfect when I did it. So it wouldn't have any flaws in it. That's why they say you have to try and be perfect like God, even though that's your type of meditation. That's your actual meditation, is to try and be perfect. Every time you do it, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. If you pay attention to your body and habits and stuff like that, the more you do something, the better you get at it, you see? That's your power. Like, we're literally like saints. I'm literally the first thing, a human to become a saint. That's what this one character's all about, the golden child. He's like, this one hero in the Dragon Ball Heroes saga. It's a lot to it, bro. But like I said, he had carried his water. That's the outpouring spirit with Lux. It's smarts and luck. You have to know exactly what you're doing and get luck. It takes attempts. Chandler recovers the blade and even managed to bring it past customs in the United States. But this dude's representing having the power already. So just once you have the power, it's just like, it ain't, you did the wits to set it up, and then the luck just carries you through. That's the power of the actual power. And that's what he has, showing his power right there. That night, Numbspa, and it's kind of like you set up a way. God made a way, you see what I'm saying? You set up a way, like, it could be a narrow ass way, but it's a way, you know what I mean? Like, oh, serious, like, that's the only way I can explain it. You make a way, and then like every other person can follow that way. It's just a game plan. It's a strategy, and then when you have that game plan, it has a certain percentage of success. If you don't have any chance of success, it's not a good game. It's not a game plan, and it doesn't work. No matter how lucky you are, pretty much, unless you're extremely lucky. But in this situation, he needed both, so it wouldn't have worked if you didn't have a good game plan. Just think about the situation we're doing. Like I plotted it out, and even with me plotting it out, it's quite ugly what they're doing. These little curveballs. But they even released a new iPhone, which is going to be 5G on that same date. They did the thing with the phones. They even timed it for around the 4th of July, because they know I'm most powerful around the 4th of July. And there's a lot more I could say about that. But anyway, so he does that. I gotta end after this part because, you know, it's already kind of long, and I pretty much gave y'all a little update about what I'm up to. There's a lot of stuff I want to share with y'all. Now I want this freezing on me. Chandler recovers the blade and even brings it past customs. So that's the sword, you know. He had to go in this deep inner place, like representative of this monkey, this maze, and the high priest temple, and all this stuff. So then that night, the history and all that, monkey coming trying to stop him. It's just like when the Hindu guys would be trying to meditate, the demons would always try and distract you by hitting with arrows or whatever. Now they got 5G to weapon, you know, hit you with and all that kind of. With the help of the child's familiar, blah blah blah. Use dagger, help to kill. Oh yeah, he even converts people. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I wonder how many people I've converted over there. It's pretty. I know a lot more people have heard me than I know on BitChute, because they're just like YouTube. I'm pretty sure. I think the difference on BitChute compared to YouTube is you see your real views. Like on YouTube, I think people have a lot of fake viewers. I really do. When Chandler confronts Upside, he reveals himself as a green demon. See, and this guy's like this red-haired, serpent seed, Esau looking motherfucker, too. Like in this normal form, but his real form is that shit I showed y'all in that one video I had to redo. Because I talked about God's unlimited form and everything. Because, you know, I was just learning about the shadow, and I was making the shadow seem comparable to God, and it's not. It's just not. Learn this shit. I mean, it's not like a walk in the park, but it's like you gotta push someone over in the way through the park. If you don't push them over, like, you're just wasting time, basically. Like, it's the trick. So, let me see. Chandler confronts me. I had this shit low enough. I don't know. I just don't want y'all to not hear me. I've done that a lot in my video. Feel bad about it later. But then he could turn them into good guys or whatever. Oh yeah, the Esau guy. And then he basically just stabs the fucking monster, and the monster dies. And the monster, oh yeah, he uses the golden child. He uses. It takes both of them, by the way, to beat that devil. It's showing you the real battle right there with the two witnesses, like against the devil himself. But I'm telling you, that's the man child plus he who was already there, Jesus. Yeah. But it's like at the same time, it's me and the man child. You know, the man child really got to build my spirit. That's like my ascension form. Like Jesus, when he went up as the Lamb. At the same time, they both pop up at the same time. So I mean, maybe I'm triggering that too. Triggering him popping up there too. That's why I've been breaking all these seals and all this crazy shit been going on. Yeah, I wish I could show y'all some of this shit from my old page, bro, but they deleted that shit in millions of views, bro. You see this other child. Uses magic dagger to bring someone's back. Yeah, you see they had to add his magic, spiritual power to it. That's what made it able to kill the damn thing. So even with the most powerful dagger there ever was to kill this thing, you needed that kid's spiritual power to add on to it. And he uses some of the sunlight, like I was showing y'all. Man, wait till y'all see this shit about the sun, bro. Like, that's a whole nother video. If I put it in here, it's gonna have to be in the title, you know. But like, that's a whole nother thing. Wait till y'all see what's going on with the sun. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Talk about the Star of David, like the real Star of David. All right, see you next part.